And then, of course, there's the perfect post. Now that I have some social media, I actually want to get a really good post out there. So let's talk about what makes a perfect post. I can tell you what sets you apart more than anything else is content is king. I can tell you right now, content is king. You need to spend, or queen, if there are anyone out there, you need to understand what kind of content. Each time you set out to do something, you need to understand what was the idea behind your content. Was this particular bit of content sales driven? Was it about brand growth? Am I sharing something that's newsworthy? Am I going to ask questions, or am I going to run a giveaway or a contest? It's very important that you understand that you don't try and get all 4 or 5 or 6 things into the same post. Understand I saw such a brilliant thing the other day. It said social media is about 1 inch thick and 1 mile deep. And before you get excited, this is about social media. So your target audience needs to be 1 inch thick. That's how much you have to narrow it down. You have to find your target market almost with laser precision. I was chatting to Jody, who I see is online today, and I was saying to Jody that 100-watt light bulb lights up a room pretty dimly, but 100-watt laser will burn through steel. It's about understanding precisely where you want to be. So what you're looking for is a target market that's 1 inch thick, but 100 miles deep, and lots of business in there. So once again, type of content, sales-driven, brand growth, newsworthy, ask questions, and giveaways or contents. Next is you need to then optimize your posts. You need to understand that different posts have different optimized word counts. Now, I love to follow a guy by the name of Dan Ariely. If you haven't heard of Dan Ariely, take the time, go watch some of his YouTube videos, find him on Google. Unbelievable. What this guy does all day long is research everything. He can tell you that when you post an Instagram picture, which filters work better than other filters, which colors work better than other colors. So what these guys are, they're researching, and they're saying that the optimum word count for any post on Facebook should be between 40 and 80 characters. On Twitter, they suggest you try and use all 280 characters, Instagram 150 characters, LinkedIn 50 to 100 characters, and YouTube titles around about 70 characters. I'm just going to quickly have a look at the questions over here. What's the name? Dan Ariely, A-R-I-E-L-Y. Sorry, here's a question from Jody. How do you work out how deep to go with the layers, e.g. market, sub-market, niche? So Jody, when I'm looking for my actual market, then I'm looking to kind of micro niche. I really want to speak to someone in particular. What I want to hope is that those group of people that I'm speaking to, they're a mile deep. In other words, there's so many of them that I can make money from them. So understanding that getting the right post has got to do with optimizing your platform. And then also use hashtags and mentions. They're a great way to get your posts out there. Now, please, if you're a Facebook user, stay away from hashtags. People that use hashtags on Facebook, it kind of looks like you took your whole YouTube post and you you took your whole Twitter post and you copied and pasted onto it. But what I like to use on Facebook is I like to use mentions and ads in the hope that the people that I'm mentioning will see it and share it. Now, I'm not sure what my latest count is, 3,750 or 2,700, doesn't really matter what that number is, because Facebook ensures that only about 120 to 130 people actually see my posts each time I post. So I don't want to count likes. I want to count shares. I want to get people to share my post for me. That's more important than anything else. I know when something goes viral, it hasn't gone viral because I got a lot of likes. It went viral because I got a lot of shares. And that's where @mentions are really worth it. So what I might do is I might look at a post and say, who can I rely on to help me spread this? If I'm talking about restaurants, then for example, I might mention some of the restaurants or restaurateurs in the hope that they will share it. So the use of hashtags and mentions, also an important part of getting your post out there. Images and videos, I cannot tell you how important it is to use high quality licensed images. And when I say licensed images, I mean, you're not going there onto Google Images, finding something that still has those little lines across it, or still says RFT 123. There are so many amazing places to find high quality images. In fact, by the end of this talk, you'll have no excuse, because right at the end, when I do my giveaway, I'm going to send you to a whole lot of places where you can find wonderful images. And Canva, by the way, my new kind of go-to place is there as well. Create short and engaging videos. I've run more than enough courses on creating video on your phone, how easy it is, how good it is. Happy to do another one of these days. It is the single most powerful means of getting things out there. Even, by the way, little voice notes. Now, I'm not sure how many of you heard that little voice note that went around the country about the guy that was phoning Kalula and says, "Hi, Kalula, I'd like to book a ticket to blah, 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 blah." And then he says, "Oh, F it, I'll just fly to George." Now, that was me. I'll own up right now. I made that little voice note. I sent it out to about 5 or 6 people. It went completely viral, hundreds of thousands. Why? I'll talk about that a bit later on. Jody also wants to know, how useful is it to go live? Now, the problem with going live is that you need to tell people that you're going live. You need to warn them, and you need to get them to come there. So I find it more important that you actually do the recording and then post it is probably more important than the actual live posting at that particular moment. So once again, quality over quantity. That's another thing. I get so many people. And how do you know when one of your friends has got caught up in a multi-level marketing scheme? Well, they start posting the same thing over and over again. It starts off with 300 posts about how wonderful life is, then 300 posts about how tasty the shake is. None of that builds trust. None of that builds authenticity. Your job is to build trust, authenticity, following, and engagement. That's what it's all about. I have been doing this for years. I still get it wrong. I still post something. I think it's unbelievably clever, unbelievably funny, unbelievably informative. I go along and absolutely nobody's liked it and shared it. And I have to go back and reassess and say, okay, what did I get wrong? And I do that with almost every one of my posts. I say to myself, what did I get wrong and what did I get right with this particular post? So quality over quantity. Spend the time.